It's rise and shine. Grab your coffee cup, come spend some time. I know it's early, the start of a new day. No need to worry, it's Local Cafe. Rise and shine, baby, wake and bake. Clear out your mind, maybe, just take a break. Local Cafe. Chill out with us today.
We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Apparently, even before Fat Camp, everybody lost 400 pounds. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what in the world is going on. But hey, you know what? Congratulations to everybody. I'm happy we're losing weight. I'm happy we're getting healthier. But you know what? There's a show to start. Let's do it. Good morning, everybody. As y'all know, I'm Ken, and welcome to the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest show in the entire Local universe. You're watching Local Cafe. Oh, what a weekend. What a weekend it was leading into Monday. We're going to have a great stream. It's going to be a great time, and it's going to be beautiful chat. As you know, I'm not alone. I have my awesome and beautiful and the bestest co-host in any show in this mofo. Let's welcome Miss Beans to the chat. Miss Beans, good morning or afternoon. And you're muted again. I can't.
Dude, it is a Monday. It is a Monday. That's my excuse. So good afternoon. I caught myself there.
There it is.
Before we start off, what do you have in your cup, Ken? If you have anything in your cup this afternoon.
Sweater weather. I have Joe coffee, this house blend, cup of Joe. If you guys haven't had a cup of Joe, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, whatever, very good coffee.
Very interesting. I'll look into that because my mom and I are always going to like Marshalls or Ross or things of that nature. It's a very staple. So we have some positive news other than the everybody losing 400 pounds.
Let's go.
Thankfully, finally got my jacket. Hell yeah. I was waiting at my mailbox every single day until I got it, and I finally got it.
Congratulations. Question, how does it fit?
It fits pretty good. So I was worried because I'm such a petite little thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that it was going to be like too oversized, but thankfully it fits pretty good. And I like the feel of it. It's really comfortable.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks good on you. I like it.
Thank you, sir. There was a lot of people in the subreddit talking about how like they're cheap looking hoodies or things of that nature. And I responded to that comment. I'm like, yo, like whenever I get my jacket, I will make like a very detailed like video, not super detailed, but like, you know, at least something to put on the subreddit so people can check out like the actual details, like how the zipper is. Like one thing that I take note of whenever I have a jacket to know if it's high quality or not is like the drawstring. If there's like a really high quality drawstring, that's how you know you have a really high quality jacket.
That's a good thing.
And
that's a good thing to do. I've never paid attention to that, but now that you mention it, that's a very thick drawstring. So that's beautiful.
yeah, it's really thick and it has like the metal on it instead of plastic. I hate the ones with plastic because usually they'll just like come off in the wash. This is actually fantastic. So I'm just super ecstatic with the whole jacket thing, and I hope that they become available soon because I would love to see people just in events or things of that nature with a little jacket on.
I believe Keemstar,
Especially if they have the cafe logo.
I believe Keem said that the store is going to be up and running this week. So
This week?
yep, that's what he said. So
Oh, yeah?
we'll definitely have to make something happen. I'd say it was funny, right? So people were talking about the song, like Good Morning and all that. To me, this is still Good Morning in the LCU because this is the first day of a 12-hour workday, right? So I still count this as morning. I don't know about you, Beans.
I'll count it as morning, kind of like, okay, so Grim makes fun of me all the time because of this, but whenever, like, let's just say it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., he makes fun of me because I still say, like, oh, like, tomorrow, right? And he's like,
yeah.
Today is technically your tomorrow. And I'm like, no, it's not tomorrow until I wake up. Until these peepers open for the first time whenever I go to sleep, it's not tomorrow. Today is still today.
I got to agree with you on that one. Real quick, while we even had the stream just up and all that, Apple Bottom Jeans became a Band World member. Thank you, Apple Bottom. We appreciate that. Oh, man. So, what a wild weekend in the LCU. A lot of stuff that we're going to get into here in a little bit. But I think we should keep it traditional with the Daily Espresso. What you thinking, Beans?
Heck yeah, let's start off with the Daily Espresso.
Let's get into this thing, guys. So, Beans, want to kick us off, ma'am?
Yes, sir. So today is March 10th, 2025, and we're going to check in with our famous Big Bear Eagles, Jackie and Shadow, and their 3 little babies.
Oh, yeah. So, as we see, they're nesting, rooting, whatever, or not rooting. Jesus, they're not pigs, but, we got Mama Bear, Papa Bear, whatever, on top of them, chilling. Still some snow on the ground, so it's probably still a little too cold for the babies. But, yeah, if y'all actually watch the channel, there's some cool stuff that happens throughout the weekend. And, just at night, they upload, short little photos of it. It's pretty cool and just interesting, like I usually say, because, Mother Nature's a beautiful thing. But, all is well in the world of the babies and the Big Bear Bald Eagles. Fun fact, this is kind of me being a boomer, but I thought there was a certain type of bald eagle named Big Bear, but they're in Big Bear Park or Big Bear Valley. So that's why they're Big Bear Bald Eagles. When I found out that it was just that, my mind beans just exploded. I don't know. I'm special.
I honestly, you're not, well, you are a very special person to me, but I thought that they were named after some sort of football team for some reason.
Yep. Miss Tina's in chat. Good morning, Miss Tina. Or afternoon, Miss Tina, however you want to look at it. Thank you for being here. If y'all guys didn't know, they had a test stream on Queens last night, members only. And Mike's learning OBS. So, congratulations? Question mark? I don't know. Just one of those things, man. Again, we'll get into it later, obviously. But, let's... God, my camera hates me. I can't.
It's always whenever we go on stream.
Bruh, I'm telling you. All right. Horoscope time, Miss Beans. Talk to him.
So for the daily horoscope for March 10th, a Pisces born on March 10th has an attitude. They know how to draw the spotlight and usually manage to keep it on themselves for as long as they choose. Although they display a flirty, semi-serious personality, there's considerable grit beneath the surface. They can take care of themselves and will never let anybody get the better of them. So these sound like very strong people.
I was going to say, This sounds just like a person that's full of spite. The entire thing is spite. Oh,
I
man.
mean,
I love my March 10th people. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you, March 10th, for being here. Very, the day in history. I like that first one.
the first one. So it says in 1876, the first telephone call, Alexander Graham Bell made the first successful telephone call saying, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you."
So MTB or MTV said, Locale Cafe, do what Tina does and wipe her hand across the camera. I guess like when it glitches, because my camera hates me. Obviously, my camera hates me. This is the second Elgato camera I got, but as we see now, it's beautiful. So I appreciate that. But yes, Miss Tina D's in chat saying that she's definitely going to fat camp. She wants that payday, which I definitely agree. And I look forward to meeting you, Miss Tina, and shaking your hand. I think it's going to be beautiful. It really is going to be beautiful. And big ups to you and Mike last night, trying to move forward, trying to make it happen. And everyone has their ideas on how we're going to move forward with the show. But either way, big ups to you guys.
So in general, I just hope today on Queens we get a little bit more of Tina. I know that Tina's a very big personality in general, but sometimes she does get a little bit overshadowed with Becky. So let's see how Tina works by herself.
Definitely.
Oh, now I'm scared because Tina says she's bringing a bat to fat camp.
Maybe it'll be that little bat that she beat the shit out of that table with at Wing's house. Remember that little ass bat?
That'll be funny.
That was beautiful. I love you, Tina. Never change.
I wonder if she's going to wear her helmet when she exercises, if she's going to exercise.
Oh yeah, boss up. I hope so. It's a staple, right? It's a staple of who Tina D is. So hopefully she does. So
the next, what were you going to say?
Same thing you were. Go ahead.
We're on the same wavelength, and especially on a Monday. So today in history, Mario Day, March 10th, or MAR 10, spells out Mario, is an unofficial holiday celebrating Nintendo's Mario character.
Well,
I'm actually excited. Do you have any stories when it comes to Mario, Ken?
Not really. I didn't play a lot of Mario as a kid. I played Mario Kart with the wife, and she kicks my ass every single time. So big ups to her. But when I look at this, I kind of think of what's that? May the 4th be with you, or something. I can't with the puns.
It's pretty much on the same level as the Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
But something really interesting is I think that this month, if I'm not mistaken, this month or maybe next month, I know it's somewhere in between this time period, they're going to open the Super Mario World at Universal Studios. And I was so excited for that. I don't have the money because I bought all this equipment for streaming.
Yep.
But hopefully one day Grim and I can go over to Universal Studios and, have our little fun with the Mario World.
Yeah, my wife definitely wants to go. She also wants to do the new Harry Potter, whatever. I got to say, though, when, what was it, the Hagrid's ride? When the Hagrid's ride first opened up and I went on it with her, that was badass. I'm not going to lie to you. I had
the motorcycle one?
Yeah. When they did the drop, bruh. That was beautiful. And then they had the Star Wars ride. That was 20 minutes long. That shit was legit.
So they used to have, I'm not sure if they still have it. I'm pretty sure it closed down. But they used to have a ride that's inside the giant castle that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just a screen and for Harry Potter, and it moves you around and stuff. It's still there. That ride, when I was younger and we went to Universal Studios, I could not keep my eyes open during the entire part. There would be some sections where I would have to close my eyes, the Dementor part that freaked me out. The giant spider part that freaked me out. The heat whenever it hits you with
Oh,
the
yeah.
fire breathing dragon. Hell nah. But I'm really excited for Mario World, because I think that's like more my style, especially because I was a kid that basically grew up with Mario in general.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that would be super cool. But moving on to the other days in history, because we have a lot to talk about today. So in 1977, astronomers discovered the rings of Uranus. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Beautiful.
I already know the chat is going to be blowing up with ha
I'm
ha ha
glad
rings of Uranus.
I'm glad the rings were found. That's all I'm gonna say. I will say this though, when they were doing a little trial and Wings was like, hey, if a mod came to me said, hey, I want to see that button in that brown star ring or star whatever he was talking about, I
Starfish.
almost wanted to donate and say, hey, Wings, and like say the same thing exactly to him, but I was like, nah, he'll probably get mad. Almost like calling him useless. I can't.
He does get mad whenever people say that. The joke never gets old. LOL.
Nope.
The joke never gets old, no matter how old you are.
Remember The Simpsons when Bart was like dressed up as like an alien? He's like, I am the thing from Uranus. That shit fucked me up.
I need to
bro.
rewatch all those shows.
That shit fucked me up.
Wait.
Beans.
So this is a very important question, because this can tell a lot about a person.
Oh God.
Simpsons, Family Guy, or American Dad?
Family Guy, solely for Stewie.
Solely for Stewie?
Solely for Stewie. He's my favorite out of all of them. My favorite character. I'm just saying.
What the deuce, Ken? I can't.
I am the thing from Uranus. I love that shit, man.
I think I'm a Simpsons girl, just because whenever I was younger, I would watch it secretly. My mom would hate me watching it, because whenever I was watching and she'll like walk into the room or she see me watch, like the most disruptive, what's the word? Like disgusting or just disruptive or just in general something that a child shouldn't watch would be on screen. So she's just like, oh, this is, typical Hispanic mom. And she's like, this is the devil. You shouldn't be watching this. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
So someone brought up Bob's Burgers in the chat.
I love Bob's Burgers.
My wife loves Bob's Burgers. We went to go see the movie whenever it came out, like opening night, bro. I got tickets for it. We could go watch it. And they actually had like a special menu because they have food there. Obviously, I got like 3 burgers because, I had to. And she got the sangria, the wine or whatever. I didn't realize this was a musical. I was so upset at the musical. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Here's the thing, right? I don't mind musicals. It's just a random breakout of like song and dance. I'm like, this doesn't fit. Like, why are we doing this? Like, I can't.
So I also watched the movie. Didn't know it was going to be a musical. I went to go watch it with one of my best friends, and the moment that they started singing, we just looked at each other, because I know, like, my friend likes regular movies, and we thought it was going to be just a really long episode of Bob's Burgers. But once the singing started, we just looked at each other and we're like, what is going on? But it wasn't that bad, or at least I don't think so. Something that Grimm likes to make fun of me for is that he says I'm Tina. I act like Tina, but have the personality and attitude of Louise.
Okay. I can see that.
Because he says I'm super awkward. I'm like socially inept, but I also like to see the world burn like Louise, and just in general have like these quick little jabs at people all the time. Yep. So that's why I have a connection to Bob's Burgers more than the other shows, I think.
That definitely makes sense. My wife thinks that I'm going to be Bob when I become a father. She thinks I'm literally going to be Bob. So, one last thing before we move on. I think we're going to need a boomer report for this one. But I remember as a youngin', right, using VHS to record Beavis and Butthead. Right? I'm talking the old Beavis and Butthead. The thing is, my mom used to record soap operas. She used to love all My Children. That was her shit. One time I fucked up and recorded over All My Children, and hell froze over in that household.
I can't imagine.
It was bad, Beans. It was really bad.
What did you get? Did you get the belt? Did you get the chancla? Did you get electric cord?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. She never like did that to me, but like, she gave me a talking to. We'll leave it at that.
You know it's serious because you didn't say she talked to me. No, you said she gave me a talking to.
Oh,
and down here in the South, that means something.
Damn right. Damn right.
So let's move on to Brood for Your Brain, useless facts. Did you know that there's enough gold inside Earth to coat the planet in a layer 1.5 feet thick?
Where's my gold? Right? That's wild. Could you think about it as such
That
like,
is
if gold is that plentiful and the U.S. uses gold to base value, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. Like, there's that much gold in the world, but this is what we're going to tie to it as far as precious metal prices for our currency. It's almost counterproductive if you think about it. I don't know.
I always found it weird that we base our currency off of like something else. I don't know. It's just a weird concept in my brain.
Nah, I got you.
What else is there? There's a lake in Australia that's naturally bubblegum pink. It looks like a giant strawberry milkshake.
Really?
Really?
The question is, does it taste like cotton candy?
I don't think so. I think if it's I already don't trust a lot of food with food coloring in it.
Hold on.
So just imagine like
let me show the chat.
a lake.
Let me show the chat.
Oh, you're showing the chat?
Yeah, look at this, guys. Literally looks like a liquid cotton candy at this point. Curious what it tastes like. I don't know.
But okay. Food coloring in food, kind of dangerous, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just imagine like the natural obscenity happening in this water to make like a chemical reaction of some sort to make it that pink. Like, I don't know if it's algae, because algae is the thing that makes flamingos pink.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like just a chemical, like if there's like something seeping out of the ground like that makes me a little scared. And I don't know why. But let's move on to I Can't with Ken and Beans. I think that we're a little bit low energy today and we need something to fire us up.
So the first one really does apply. You got that fresh pack of gum. You open that bitch up, all of a sudden you got friends from everywhere. Yo, bro, let me get some gum. Let me get some gum. Let me get some gum. Like, bro, go get your own gum. This is mine. I opened it. It's like people have this sense of entitlement, asking, let me get that gum. You know what I'm saying? Like, people piss me off. When someone says we need to talk but doesn't say what about, bruh, my wife does that shit. Like, hey, by the way, when you get home, we need to talk. I call immediately, deny. I'm like, oh, so she just hit the fuck you button.
Basically, that's the fuck you button.
Basically, that means I'm in deep shit, chat. You can't find the end of the tape. Listen. Christmas wrapping. This happens a lot. And I don't know how many times I've bought brand new tape. Because by the time you pick it, it's just like a little shit. And it just fucks up. Know what I mean? It's just
You're just sitting there just like...
Oh, yeah. And then everyone knows I got like fat sausage fingers, right? So I'm, sitting there trying to pick this little fucking piece of tape. And it's just like, what are we doing? I'm wasting my time. I can just go to the fucking store and get like $1.50 for like another like 2-3 pack. And then my wife gets mad. Why are you spending money needlessly? I said, because I can't get the tape. I don't know, Beans. I'm going crazy.
I think I find it funny. Like, I see Ken as such a strong, Ken is Ken.
Hey.
But as soon as we talk about some of like the littlest things, he gets so fired up. Like, for example, tape.
Oh, yeah.
For example, gum.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
I just find it so funny.
I couldn't imagine if I smoked cigarettes. You could say the same thing with cigarettes. Hey, bro, let me get a short. Let me get a short. Like, bro, no.
You're wrong.
One of the coldest disses I've ever heard in my life was someone talking to someone else. And they said, bro, you'd suck a dick for a short. Shut the fuck up. I was like, wow.
I don't know why I imagined that coming out of Tina's mouth.
I could see that.
Am I crazy?
I could see that easily.
I feel like that's a Tina quote.
Oh, 100%. But nah, Chad, I don't know, man. That shit just, yeah, it's fucked. Either way you look at it. And then last but not least, when you have a show, right, it doesn't close out correctly. And then it doesn't renew for another season.
That pisses me off. That truly does piss me off, because sometimes I'll start like a new show and I'm like so excited. You told me to watch Stranger Things, by the way. I still haven't started it. Don't get mad at me. But don't go away.
Don't look at me, Beans.
Come back here. Oh my goodness. I'll start it eventually. Probably after Fat Camp. I can't start it now.
I was committed. And I watched it in a week. All of it in a week.
Now you're muted. I can't even hear you.
I can't. I watched it in a week. People were asking me questions, Beans. Bro, what happened here? I got you. It's funny as fuck. Nightly
so
Truth.
we have a Nightly Truth.
Coffee Cult Unite for the 10. Appreciate you, Nightly Truth. Always a beautiful, amazing, and handsome supporter of the show. Thank you, Nightly Truth. I just want to say real quick, there may be something coming down the pipeline, and we may be thanking Nightly Truth for some big ups.
Now I'm just freaking, we were talking so much about things that might give us anxiety, like, oh, whenever you get home, I'll talk to you later. And then freaking gum, we're talking about nicotine. Now you're just giving me anxiety by talking about Nightly Truth, and I don't even know what's going on.
Listen, chat, straight up, Beans has no idea. Beans has no idea. Right hand to God, right hand to my mother.
Now I feel like you're conspiring against me. I thought we were the best co-hosts in the LCU.
We are the best co-hosts, but sometimes, Beans, we need genuine reaction.
Oh my goodness.
That's what we learned from Becky, right? Becky taught us genuine reactions.
Becky's not here. Becky's gone. Becky's gone, and it's gonna stay that way if it's the last freaking thing I do.
Fuck you, Beans. I love you.
I can't believe this. The one person I thought I could trust. I can't even trust Grim anymore because Grim is Grim. The one person I could trust, which was Ken. I can't even trust Ken anymore. I can't even trust you, chat. I can't trust you. All of you. I think you guys are all conspiring against me.
Becky's stock had just plummeted. I just want to say that. All right. We'll talk after the stream.
Oh, we'll talk after. We'll talk after. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we'll talk after, Ken.
I get to use it on somebody. Let's go.
Just like an hour and 30 minutes more, something like that.
1 hour and 31 minutes. Or no, fuck me. 1 hour and 1 minute. God.
Quote of the day. We're moving on. Quote of the day. Every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lungs breathe a final breath. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the body of others and makes them bleed deeper and something larger than life in his essence, his spirit will be immortalized. Ultimate Warrior.
GG's Ultimate Warrior. That dude. God, he just fucking went everywhere with his promos.
Y'all making my curls get out of sync.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Ah, man. Let's, You want to go into world news, or do you want us to go straight into the LCU? There's only one thing in world news I think it's pretty interesting as someone that loves to cook.
Yeah, let's do that.
So evidently, the great state of Texas, is proposing to rename the Newark Strip to the Texas Strip. That just doesn't have a good ring to it. Hey, let me get a Texas Strip. I don't know, man.
You got me so hot and bothered I have to take off my jacket I was waiting for all week.
Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has proposed renaming the New York Strip state to the Texas Strip to better reflect the state's prominent role in the cattle industry. Patrick argues that Texas, leading the nation with approximately 12.2 million cattle, deserves recognition over New York, which has primarily dairy cows. Do you like milk beans?
I do like milk. I don't appreciate that milk is becoming expensive like eggs, because those are staples in every household, I think, unless you're lactose intolerant. I do agree with this just a little bit, because last night, Grim and I went to dinner at Texas Roadhouse for our anniversary.
Nice, congratulations.
Our anniversary. Thank you so much. Our anniversary is actually on Wednesday, but with all the hubbub of, work and back camp preparation, we can't do it on Wednesday, so we did it yesterday.
So is this going to be 8 years or 7?
I think it's... Grim, I hope you're not watching. I think it's 7. I'm not completely sure.
I can't.
I think I'm one of those people. I'm kind of like the Koreans, where it's like every new year you just count it as another year onto your life or onto whatever you're doing.
Yep.
I think that's just easier than like waiting until a special day and being like, okay, now it's a year. No, everything is just 1 year up as soon as the clock strikes 12 on January 1st. Just my opinion. But we did go to Texas Roadhouse. I accidentally made an oopsie. I didn't know that it was for our anniversary, and I accidentally invited our best friend, like our mutual best friend, to the outing. I was just like, hey, you want to go to Texas Roadhouse? He's like, sure. And it was just kind of awkward because Grim is like, this was our anniversary dinner. And I was like, well, now it's our anniversary dinner with our friend.
Undertaker 1%er said, did he give you that ring and set the date?
What ring?
I can't.
The rings that we found on Uranus?
Hey.
We found those a long time ago.
How's that brown starfish
My ring?
looking?
Ken, please, it's a Monday. I can't take much more of this.
Is Becky coming back? Bro, I don't know.
Probably.
Benevito,
but let me have my 5 minutes.
Benevito Plagueis, I think is how you say that. I don't know. Well, I think it's time.
Time for me to go crazy?
Yes. Time to get into what happened over the weekend.
Do you watch LCU during the weekend, perchance?
I do. Sometimes I have to watch it in spurts, because it depends on what the wife wants to do. But, that's what happens. So, if you guys missed it, first and foremost, I want to announce that Glammy Lammy is getting married at Fat Camp. I also want to announce Keem is going to be the ordained person, minister, whatever you want to call it, to do it. People are asking about the protein shakes. We'll get into that here in a minute. But I think we need to start with positive news before we take a deep dive into the plane crash that the rest of the show was. So, did you know about
I've heard rumors of this, but you don't really know.
Stop. Did you know about Glammy getting married, Beans?
So I found that out recently that Glammy was going to get married. I also know the funniest thing I ever heard was Xylee kind of defending herself when it comes to being the maid of honor. I just find it so funny whenever Xylee says that like she can clean up good. I know she can. You can just tell when a woman can clean up very nicely.
Yep.
But the thing that made me laugh was whenever she said, I'm even going to put on my hoop earrings. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. And I'm like, Xylee, please.
That's hilarious.
You're a lady.
That's hilarious. So real quick, we got 413 people here. Hey guys, thank you all for being here. So if y'all are thinking about becoming members, right? Something that we did this past Saturday, which I hope no other host steals this idea, is we actually went into the Cafe VC and did our members only stream where we had, I think, 6 or 7 other people. No cam is required. And we literally did a show, but we were able to talk to the audience, talk to our members. That's their opinion. So, this way, if you got something to say, you can say it. And the cool part is, the more people in there, the more opinions we'll have, and the more we can have a discussion. Because the beautiful thing is, Cafe is a place of being even keeled and even minded, so that way there's no emotions that go crazy high. We can be adults, have adult conversations, right? So this passing ideas back and forth, in the Cafe VC, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So if you guys want to take part in that, think about becoming a member. Also, I'm working on the Local Cafe cookbook. I was typing it out this morning, and I got to figure out how I'm going to do that, because obviously Crowns and Pay Pigs got to get a little bit more preferential than Cash Cow and Band World. What I'm thinking is Crowns and Pay Pigs have access to it at all times. Cash Cow, I can kind of, do stuff for them regarding it. And then Band World, you just get to see my, VODs whenever I cook. So there you go. Someone said something about a 6-pack reveal. Oh, there we go. Ken, that 6-pack reveal for the thumbnail on that stream 3 days ago was insane. Thank you, Beans. Appreciate that. But,
I don't control the AI. The AI does what it wants. And if the AI says that Ken should have a 6-pack, I'm not going to argue with it. It's good for views. We got the moms, drooling over Ken with their cups of coffee in hand.
So I'm going to tell everybody, do I have a 6-pack? Fuck no, I don't have a 6-pack. I never claimed to be, the Adonis or, all that shit. But I'm a pretty stout motherfucker. So, I can hold my own. But anyways, let's get into the content. We've been holding out long enough. So, where are we at? So, yeah, like I said, guys, Glammy is going to be getting married at Fat Camp. This is going to be interesting. It'd be kind of funny to see if she has family show up or he has family show up, whatever. I don't know. But let's see what happens.
You guys heard rumors of this, but you don't really know what's going on. Glammy told me that she's leaving early for Fat Camp to go to Vegas to spend a few days with her fiance or whatever, and they're going to get hitched in Vegas. And I'm like, don't do that. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, get married at Fat Camp. Mm-hmm. And she talked to her husband, and they are getting married at Fat Camp. And you know who's marrying them? Me.
How's that legal? You're not. It's super easy, actually.
So, for those that missed it, the other thing that was said was, Wings lives in South Carolina, very conservative state. And he basically said he also became an ordained minister or whatever, so that way he could do same-sex marriages and use it as a side hustle. Boogie stated that he got ordained because he had 2 friends that he introduced, and they were getting married, and they wanted him to do the ceremony.
Very nice of them.
I don't know. But anyways.
They could still get married and first of all, let me get this out of the way, since today I'm a little bit on edge for some reason. I think it's just because it's a Monday. Why does Keemstar say Vegas like that? He says Vegas. Oh, they're going to Vegas. They're gonna get married in Vegas.
I don't know. Same way he says Local Live. It's just for the camera, infatuation, enunciation. expression. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but usually whenever you hear people talking about how you should talk on camera, they say like, say your words clearly, enunciate. But I think Keemstar, because he's Keemstar and he's the star of the show, let's just say it, plain and simple. It sounds like he's like, you know what? Fuck that shit. We're going to put some marshmallows in the back of my throat and pronounce words all silly.
Beautiful.
So I can't imagine what this marriage is going to sound like. I think he's just going to get frustrated with all the words that he has to say, and he's just like, whatever, this is for content, get married, kiss each other, blah, blah, blah.
It's actually a great point. I never thought about that. He can't really like read like that, so he'll just get pissed. Like, I know some stuff they have to say certain things. There's like, I think 4 or 5 sentences they have to say legally. But outside of that, like the vows and all those other things or whatever, like me and the wife, we did our own vows. Right, we wrote our own vows and did it. And yes, I teared up during them. But that's okay. So, yeah. I don't know how he's going to play that out. It'd be funny as shit for content purposes to see Keem try to say the fucking whatever. But, let's check it out. But, anyways, so the hot topic evidently was, Becky versus the LCU. And she started bringing in... Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Where we left off before this episode, evidently, there was some doxing going on with Flava, and she had to do some punishment or whatever. Cornholio Kid said, new show coming, Locale Civil War. That's great, actually. Locale Battleground, show versus show. Who's going to win? But anyways.
You could wear your outfit or your uniform.
Yeah, I could, actually. But anyways, so Becky starts going down the list of issues she has with people, and evidently, Savage and backtrack, Psycho Mom and Roxy were catching strays, because evidently, since they are purely attached to Savage or counterparts to Savage on the same show, associated with, she don't want to deal with them either. So, people are saying Conteen, apparently Keem said in the Discord, ban Becky. But let's let Becky speak for herself when it comes to Roxy.
Well, Roxy,
keep in mind, chat, this was like a 3.5, almost 4 hour stream, I believe. So that was a lot. That's a lot. But let's get into this. Let's break this down.
Roxy's going to be there the whole time.
What's wrong with
I
Roxy?
don't know if I'm
Roxy's a
thrilled about
sweetheart.
that either, to be honest.
What's Roxy to her now? See, it's one after the other, King.
Because of everything that happened when I went onto your show to apologize to you. Roxy showed she had just as negative intentions as you did. I'm serious.
It's mighty funny. Y'all treated me like shit on your show, but I'm not pulling this.
Wait, if you're going to interrupt me, you're muted
Savage.
again. I don't need to talk to you, Savage.
Dude, she barely interrupted you. It's Discord. People accidentally talk over each other all the time.
But this is what she does every single time. She talks over me until I'm not able to talk. That's what she's fucking known for, Keem.
If you're saying if Savage goes, you're not going. If Roxy's going, you're not going. You know who said way worse stuff to you and it made worse threats to you? Boogie.
It's a great point. That they brought that up. It's a great point. But again, people have the preconceived notion or the assumption that Becky just doesn't want to go. People say, with the rheumatoid arthritis, yes, it is in remission, but she can still have issues, right? She can still have issues from it. I'm not a doctor. I can't speak on that, but she is a part of not even arguably anymore. She is the number 2 show in the entire LCU. So they have to be there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Rewind is arguably the number 3 show. Aussie's coming up to match, but Rewind's arguably the number 3 right now. Billy has to be there. So, what do you think in Beans as far as her reasoning and all the bullshit? Do you think she's just trying to get out of it?
So when it comes to the whole like new excuse that she's using, I'm going to call it an excuse, with the whole cats thing. You've known this for months. We've been talking about fat cam for months. You should have already had like board figured out by now, right? And her like doing this like last minute like, oh, who's going to take care of my cats? You should have known who was going to take care of your cats long before. The other thing that made a lot of people, a lot of pet owners upset is the fact that she said, none of my cats have their shots up to date. If you're a responsible if you're a responsible pet owner, you should have your pet's shots up to date no matter what, because, you know, they can catch something from someone else or anything of the sort. So this sounds like a whole bunch of bull honky, if you will, and I feel like she's just trying to get out of it. Because she was blaming Keemstar. She was being very unfair to everybody around her. She always talks about me on the shows, but as soon as she needs to have responsibility or just in general, just own up to something, it's always you. It's always Keemstar, it's always Tina, it's always Mike, it's always somebody else except Becky. So Becky needs to be a big girl and put on her big girl pants, just like she did whenever she went out and spread for bread. She needs to take responsibility and, you know, get her shit together. But I don't even think she's going to get her shit together now. I think she's going to duck it like she's been ducking everything else in her life.
Exactly. I don't know. It just seems fucked up in my opinion, that whatever. But all right, chat, this is what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to set a goal of 15 super chats at the orange level. We have 45 minutes left in the show. If we reach that goal, I will preview my recipes live on air. I got about.
We're gonna release the content.
I got about 6 or 7 in there right now. I'll preview it so that way y'all can check it out. The goal is started. It's up to you guys. 15 super chats at $20, and we'll go over some recipes. So,
where's my wallet? I'm sorry.
So, Roxy comes up, and she shows up because evidently, you know, she has to say something. The problem with her, though, I don't know if it's going to be in this section right here in the clip. She just jumped into LolCal Live and she wasn't dragged up that I saw. And she just started talking. Yes, hosts can just jump into shows. Yes, hosts can fucking jump on panel and all this other shit. But the one show you do not do that on is LolCal Live. You just don't. If you want to do that, it's like I told Eric, you want to put a target on your back, jump into a show like that. Because no matter what's going on, no matter what argument, whatever the fuck is going on, all attention hits you. And the world is staring like, what are you doing, Eric? What do you want? And that's not what we want for anybody, especially on LolCal Live. Beans, you got something to say?
My whole thing is, that's true. And I never thought of it that way. If you want a target on your back, just jump straight into LolCal Live. Because one, you're going to get berated by not only Keemstar, you're going to get berated by everybody else watching because you're not bringing in the content that they want to see. You're just interrupting it. But you were talking about Roxy, and I did want to bring up that she jumped into LolCal Live, but she did not, as far as I see, and I didn't really watch Rewind or anything. I don't watch a lot of things during Sunday because Sunday's my day off.
Yeah.
But she was talking a lot of smack in the Rewind chat, apparently. Roxy and Psycho Mom were having a little bit of issues. I'm not sure if what you're talking about also relates to that, but can you shed a little bit of light?
As far as Roxy?
As far as Roxy, yeah.
So, I guess her main issue that she was talking about was how Becky talked about her, perceived her. I know in the Discord earlier, someone was saying they created like an alt Psycho Mom account and was talking shit, and Roxy believed it. And she was trying to call out Psycho Mom when they go on their stream. So, for being honest, I think Roxy can be a little bit gullible. I think Roxy just kind of takes things at face value, doesn't look to see if there is any type of weirdness. Beans, what are you looking at?
Sorry,
No,
I'm looking at the chat because there's some weird modding going on. Just real quick, mods, we don't time people out and we don't delete anything unless it's like heinous, because both Ken and I have sort of like a mutual understanding that if people have opinions, they can have opinions, just not like be vulgar or like derogatory towards anybody. That's the only thing that I want.
As long as it doesn't break TOS, let it fly. We don't care. Keeps the chat rate up. We appreciate it. So, let's go ahead and watch this clip of Roxy. We'll break this down. We'll make it happen. SpongeBob, my number one guy in the chat. 0 out of 15 on the donation goal in 18 minutes time. This show's about to get canceled about Keemstar before Fat Camp. We appreciate you, SpongeBob. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you giving your opinion. All right. Let's get into this.
Cannot control who
I don't get a lot of the shit she says in here, but we'll get to that.
I'm hosting with. Becky, name one time have I ever threatened you or even was mean to you beside banter back and forth? I'll wait.
You could have controlled your mouth the entire time I was on that episode trying to do my punishment to smooth things over, specifically so that it wouldn't come to this. But you, just like them,
So you're saying she didn't make any threats to you? You're just mad because you got talked
and
over.
here she goes jumping in. My point is, I'm not fucking dealing with you bitches. I'm not. Period. I'm done with you. I don't care. I'm fucking done. And if you want to say I'm leveraging my show, it's not that. It's that I'm fucking willing to walk away because I don't want to deal with this.
Again, what did I ever do to threaten you, Becky, or Tina, or anybody ever threaten you?
See, I already answered you. When I'm already being ganged up on over there, you blindly take their side, which means I don't fucking trust you either because now
they're my hosts.
Because now you're one of the people associating with criminals. You could have stayed neutral, but you were the one barking the loudest. I'm not stupid.
So I can kind of see what Becky is saying here, because she was kind of like the hype man, so to speak, right? And again, she's been shown that sometimes she can take things a little at surface value and go 100 with it, right? But I think she needs to understand sometimes a little bit of research helps, right? Sometimes just doing a little bit of digging before you respond to something. Obviously, she wasn't really in this, and obviously, yes, she said she's going to defend her co-host, as, you know, anyone should defend their co-host. But at the same time, when you're dealing with doxing, you're dealing with threats, you're dealing with IRL stuff, sometimes, bro, you just got to take a step back because you're just opening up yourself to be involved in that also.
It's true. I feel like Becky, most of the time, she wants to feel like she's in the spotlight, or she wants to feel like the hero in every story. She does things without truly thinking about it. If you truly did not want to be someone, like we were talking before, somebody with a target on their back, then she shouldn't have kind of threw herself into the whole situation. Not only throw herself into the situation, but put it on her stream. Like, you know, there was going to be repercussions. If you truly wanted like something to be done, you would have went straight to Keemstar, said, this is the evidence that I have. This is what they're doing. What are we going to do about it? But the fact that you turned it into content, of course, somebody's going to have a problem with it. And of course, they're going to go after you. That's just my 2 cents. There was somebody in the chat that said 100% professional victim. That's what Becky is making herself out to seem, like a professional victim, because every single time that she's on stream, doesn't take accountability, wants to blame everybody else, is just screaming and yelling, cannot have a logical conversation with anybody without crying in the end. Like, there are some actions and consequences that happen in order to make all this come to fruition. It just didn't happen out of nowhere. And that's something that she likes to talk about a lot. She's like, oh my God, what happened? What did I do to put myself in this situation? And it's like, there's a list, honey. There's a list that you can go over, and everybody can see that this was not just like out of nowhere. You did this to yourself. That's the shit that makes me pissed off.
Definitely. James F. McSee said the AI song Keem posted, that was funny as fuck. he said that or whatever. And then Noosa said blame the essay on Keem somehow. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll touch on that. But Neon Treon, welcome to Band World. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. So, going further, so obviously, there's a lot of heated stuff going on right now. There's hot-headed people trying to yell and have their 2 cents in there. I don't know what the actual goal was at that time. We did move to try to have some peaceful resolution. But again, I've said it before, when you argue and you have emotions and you don't apply logic to it, then it can hinder the whole entire conversation. Keem was trying to tell Becky that, listen, what Savage was saying wasn't serious. It was just hey, I'm going to do this to you. Savage said she was laughing the entire time and she wasn't taking it serious. Becky said, no, she is taking this serious. Kind of like when Wings threatened to shoot John or shoot somebody or whatever. She took that serious also. A lot of times it seems if any type of conflict happens, if any type of, way of getting out of fat camp happens, Becky pounces on it. It's just kind of what it seems like to me. Beans, would you agree?
I completely agree. Because this has not been the first.
My bad. Lord of Rush, welcome to Cash Cow.
Oh yeah, Lord
My fault.
Rush.
I thought you were done. I apologize. Appreciate you, Lord of Rush.
No, you're all good. The only thing I was gonna say is I completely agree, and this hasn't been the first. I can't talk today.
Beautiful.
Is there any more coffee in my cup?
I'm almost out. Damn it. But so Keem does his best to try to level with Becky, right? This is kind of the first time he's doing this right here. So let's go ahead and take a peek at what Keem is trying to tell Becky as far as the Savage.
And that he's deathly
which, again, I don't think there was really any cause of this. Not cause, sorry, wrong word. There was any real threat in this. But, again, look at who we're talking about, right?
afraid of Billy because Billy made threats that he was going to crush him and play victim. And anybody can do the little song and dance that you're doing.
Retro, thank you for the gifted. Broken Possum, please thank them for that membership. We appreciate you.
Becky, all right? Savage has nothing in her history to show that she's a dangerous, violent person. There's nothing. There is literally nothing.
Here, I don't feel heard, so there's no point to me being here. She literally threatened to strangle me right in front of you, Keem. What is wrong with you?
But it's not real. She's talking shit. She's talking shit, and you know it.
Okay, then you have her shit-talking ass at fat camp, and I'm not going. I don't need to be here. You know my answer.
Billy threatened to... No. See, this is what this bitch does. Billy threatened to stomp John. Wings threatened fucking multiple people in the Discord. Fucking Boogie's threatened people, right? It's not real. When it's not real, it's not real. It's talking shit.
I threatened John.
Only when it comes to making. Only when it comes to me.
The whole thing is, like, Savage, I talked to her for hours.
Yeah, so I think the younger people call it pearl clutching. I don't know if that's even the right way to use that word. Sorry.
To what exactly?
What Becky's doing. Like trying to like look at anything and like clutch on any type of reason to not go. I don't know if that's even the right phrase.
I mean, pearl clutching is mostly used whenever like let's just say I say like a bad word in front of you and you're like, oh, how dare you? Like, that's pearl clutching.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to Becky, she's just a special individual when it comes to all this. Like I said, we're just going to say the same thing over and over again. She's a professional victim. I think Savage, I don't like talking about, Savage in a bad light. But when it comes to Savage and she said like, oh, it's only when it comes to me. I'm sure it's not just Savage. I'm sure it's anybody that goes after Becky in a way, that she doesn't like, she gets like this. And it's true because she can blab out her mouth to everybody else and she can say some pretty disgusting things to everybody else, but as soon as anybody says it to her, that's when she has a problem. And I don't agree with that. We actually got over 500 concurrent viewers, which I think is really awesome. Thank you guys.
Hey, let's go. Appreciate y'all being here. Listen, I want to break our record of 666. because that's when Becky was on the episode. That was our highest peak concurrent ever. I really hate that number is over Locale Cafe, right? The mark of the beast is on Locale Cafe. We need to break it. So if we could hit over 666, really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. So, back at it. I know a lot of people in chat, want to talk about the SA stuff when Becky when she said Keem was the reason of that. But let's do one thing before going there, because this kind of comes into that. So, Boogie even had some choice words for Becky while they were arguing. Carlos said 777, let's go. That'd be beautiful. So even Boogie has some words, and whenever Boogie speaks with his infinite fucking wisdom, everybody sits back and listens to the fat guy talking. But, Boogie was trying to drop some truth bombs on Becky. They fell short a little bit because look at who we're talking about. But he has a way of saying things, and, he'll call somebody a cunt while he's trying to, make a point about him. I don't know how people perceive that, but it is what it is. So, Boogie's trying to tell Becky that she's being a liability, or how she is a liability. Something that I said during the live as I super chatted, and I said that, if she's there, if Becky's there, I'm not going anywhere alone near her. I don't want any type of threat of saying that I did something to somebody or whatever. That's why I said we should implement the battle buddy system. If you were in the military, you know what the battle buddy system is. And, there. But anyways, yeah, let's get into what Boogie was saying to Becky. Because, like I said, Boogie has a way with words that no one can top. No one can top Boogie when it comes to that.
He's the male professional victim, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Go ahead, say it.
I believe that you are dangerous because you have lied about going to Texas. You've lied about other things. And I think that it is possible that you would lie at fat camp if something were to happen. I think that's a scary proposition.
Well, gee, then it sounds like I shouldn't go to fat camp. And besides, what I have or have not lied about to excruciating detail are things that Keemstar knows in full detail more than you do, Boogie.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that it is possible, because you have lied in the past, that you would lie again in your future. And that's a risk we're willing to take. So I think it's reasonable you take a risk as well.
Risk, you know why. It's not a real
I disagree.
You know why.
I think it's a very real risk.
Okay, if you think it's a real risk, then why the fuck would I go? That's just stupid.
Because I like you, because I want to make you money, because I want to make Tina money, because I'm going to trust you to do better than you have in the past. Oh, well, I can list about it. I can speak.
So, I think everyone knows what Boogie's trying to say there, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Someone, I believe Medicine Asphalt was in the military. Yeah, I was in the Army for 11 years. So, 4 years active duty, 7 years full-time National Guard. So anyways, back to the story. I still wouldn't trust her because of things. She takes things, blows them out of proportion, uses them to her benefit. And Boogie brought up a great point that I haven't brought up yet. He's going to be costing Tina money at this point. Tina and Mike have said they're going to be there no matter what. So we have that to look forward to. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, I can't wait to meet Tina. It's going to be beautiful. Mike will be interesting to meet because I've had some choice words for him and he's had some choice words for me. But, hey, little buddy. But yeah, what's your thoughts, Beans?
I just find it so funny how Boogie says she's a dangerous individual because she's been caught lying so many times. And it's kind of like calling the kettle black because we know that Boogie is kind of the male professional victim. We know that Boogie's lied multiple times throughout the LCU and even outside of the LCU in general. So the fact that this is coming out of his mouth is very rich and just in general very interesting. The thing that kind of made me upset, I don't know if we're going to get into this a little bit later. I don't know if there's a clip for this. The part that made me upset the most is that even something so serious, these allegations that she put towards somebody else, She even tries to divert the blame to Keemstar as well. Like, not only is she blaming Keemstar for everything that's happening to her when it comes to, like, Flava Flav or whatever her name is, everything that's happened in general when it comes to the public and her being in the eye of the LCU, but she's also blaming Keemstar for the essay allegations that she put forth. And I think that's one of the most disgusting things that I have ever heard come out of Becky's mouth. And that's saying a lot, because she said a lot of things to me and to my co-host and to Cafe in general. So the fact that this is the most disgusting thing, that she would put Keemstar, she would blame Keemstar because Keemstar introduced her to somebody, and at first it was a very happy thing, but just ended wrong. Like, that don't sit well with me.
No, I got you. People in the chat saying, thank you to the veterans out there. Hey, it's beautiful, man. I love all my veterans. That's an awesome thing. Anyways, off that. So we'll go ahead and check out the essay stuff, because that was pretty disgusting that Becky brought that up. When the whole thing happened, Keem did say, as the company, we can't take a side because we don't know. And Becky never went further with anything she wanted to do about it. And I'm going to leave it there. I ain't going to say any more about it. But where are we at? So let's go ahead and Humphrey the Dinosaur, welcome to Bandwell. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you. So
Humphrey.
Let's go ahead and get into that one. It's definitely a hard watch, in my opinion. So, Kyle FTW, Ken, were you in combat? What's the sketchiest experience in your time active that you can share? So I was in Basra, Iraq, 2009 to 2010. I believe it was like 9 or 10 months, something like that. And I was in fuel, 92 Foxtrot. I was a fueler. One of the scariest things that I did, or I would had to do, was driving a 5,000-gallon fuel tanker around. It was up armored and all that stuff. But just knowing when you're in certain territories and areas, there was boom boom out there, and it could be a wrap at any point. That was fun. There's some things that, like my mom, I didn't even tell my mom of things, because there's some things I just don't want to tell her. But I made sure every night I called her so she knew I was safe. So we have Becky in the chat. Becky says the only way I'll come back is if Keem is willing to break the fourth wall on this and admit I played a character. He will never, so I'm walking away. Keem, if you're watching, there you go. She wants you to break the fourth wall.
But that is so vague, though. Like, break the wall on what? Like, I know that she gets very upset whenever she brings up how Keemstar wants her to clean her house. Fine, whatever. Like, that's a very touchy subject because she has actual illnesses that is not, part of the whole character thing. This is happening to her body. I can't imagine the amount of pain that she goes through every day. But when it comes to, what character are you playing? Are you the character of being the heel? Because I think a lot of people already know that she's a heel at this point.
If I can say something.
Go ahead.
When Keem was initially talking about the allegations and all of that, Keem even said out his mouth, I think Becky plays it up for the camera. That literally came out of his mouth. Becky says, I won't be back. See ya. That's up to you, Becky. For what it's worth, I do appreciate the advice you gave me. I'm always trying to be the bigger person. I wasn't involved in anything that happened with you and Flava and Tina and Savage and all that. All I'm going to say is thank you for the advice you gave me. I do appreciate it. I felt like it did help me, and I have been a better host because of it. So I hope that whatever you find in life is good. I hope whatever you want in life satisfies you. And, whether or not you come back, I understand that's up to you, but it is what it is. 550 viewers. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. It is beautiful. So let's go ahead and get into this now. Miss Beans, anything else before we play the clip?
I literally had to pop a cracker in my mouth to dry out my mouth so I wouldn't say anything while you said that.
Pop a cracker.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. Headphone warning for those about to watch this. Also, this is this is very heavy, in my opinion. So be ready for that. Let's do it.
Come up here and say that shit about me after you know what I went through working for you.
Working for me?
Yeah, working for you. It's because of my interaction with you that I met Richie and went through what I did with him. And now you're going to say you don't know if I might fake SA? Fucking clear it up, Keem.
So you're blaming me? You're blaming me. Just to be clear, you are now blaming me.
I am saying that I met him through you the same way I'm going to be meeting fucking Savage through you. So no, I put myself in a situation like that once. I'm not fucking doing it again. You can take back that you think I'm lying about SA, or we could just cut our ties right now. I am not working for you like this.
You're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Clarify it for me, please. Are you saying that you think I'm such a professional victim that I would come here and lie about SA?
We are worried that...
So, again, I've always said I wasn't there. I've known Richie. And I'll even say this. The BTK killer, he was a deacon at his church. People said that, you know, they never thought he'd be the one to do it. Ted Bundy, everyone loved him. Never thought he'd be the one to do it. I'm not saying shit about the other person. I'm just saying from what I understand, I don't see that happening. But again, there's been plenty of examples where people said the same thing and people were found guilty. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I'm not taking a side. That's all I'm saying. I believe Keem is in the right to not take a side. Keem is in the right saying, you know, as a company, the company doesn't know what happened either. So he's not going to silence her, but he's also not going to take action because she should have went to whatever outlet she needed to take proper action. That's all I'm saying. What you got for me, Beans?
What I have for you is that I don't know either of them personally. The thing that I do not agree with is that every single time somebody has some sort of disagreement, even if this wasn't completely the fault of Lolcow in general or Keemstar's company, a lot of people, whenever anything happens in their lives and they're just involved with Keemstar in general, the first thing they do is just stab Keemstar in the back, and they'll go to, you know, the other people who've been quote unquote wronged by Keemstar. I don't like that. If you have something going on with your life, you should deal with it yourself, not try going everywhere for some ounce or sliver of attention or a validation in your side. That's just sucky in general. Like, yep. Grow up, be a real person and go to therapy or something, or have some sort of reflection in your life, because going to somebody else and trying to get some validation isn't going to do anything but cause more problems, as we saw before.
Yep.
When it comes to Becky, I know that all this can be very overwhelming, especially when you have to be the heel of the company. Like, your whole job is to be hated. Your whole job is to take the abuse from the audience. But whenever I have those moments where I know I'm going to have like some sort of crash out, what I say to myself, I kind of have like a little song for myself. Eat a snack, take a nap, prevent yourself from having an attack. That's what I do, okay? Eat something, take a nap, prevent a crash out on stream, because that's probably the worst thing you can do. You probably have a lot of emotion at that period, but showing that emotion to other people is only going to make you look worse. It's not going to make the other person look worse. That's just my whole thing. I've had a few crash outs in my Lolcow time, and I'm trying to prevent even more. So chill out. I even bought stress pills. You can barely see them, but I even brought stress pills to not be so stressed out when it comes to all this low cal jazz. Just eat a snack, take a nap, prevent yourself from having an attack.
Right.
That's my 2 cents.
So, right here, we have this in the docket. Becky Boop said, "To those I got to know and who care, thank you. I'd love to stay in touch with you via DMs or on any other of my socials. Don't know where I'll end up, but I always go by Becky Boop. To the rest of you who hated me anyway, please enjoy the rest of your LCU experience without me. Take care all." So, we got 15 minutes left. We'll go and skip to Rewind because Keen called in to Rewind. They had a nice show. Nice lengthy show, I should say. Real quick, Becky in chat saying, "You can believe what you want. At least I finally said my piece, and the people who wanted to know the truth now know it." So, in my opinion, when she said she wants Keem to say that she was a character and break the fourth wall, this is literally going to admit that this was scripted. Everything that happened was scripted. Now, he could say, "I want you to play this character. This is who I want you to be." Now, is that 100% written word for word script? No. Does that go a little bit past organized? I think so. Now, she has almost this entire time being on Queens been a nag, got on Tina's nerves, got on other people's nerves, try and stir shit, keep it going. That was apparently her role on Queens. So, as she said, she was told to play the heel. But she really never got a chance to show who she really is and be like Becky. Obviously, they had sensitive subjects. They had sensitive conversations. And she tried to show herself as a person on Queens. You do with that what you will. Go ahead, Beans.
I'm conflicted. You know how I am as a person. I always try to give people second chances, even third chances, even fourth chances. I'm just very forgiving like that. But when it comes to the whole, like, Becky tried to show who she really was and then blah, 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 blah. She was on Cafe. And that was the best she was ever received from anybody in the locale universe.
That is true.
She was very calm. She was having amazing conversations with us. She seemed like such a nice person. And even I said that in the Discord, and I got a lot of fucking beef or a lot of fucking flack for that, for saying that Becky's a nice person. Because a lot of people just see the character and they don't see Rebecca, right? So she did show a side of herself. She did show the true Rebecca. And then all of a sudden she went on Queens. Remember this, she went on Queens. She called us boring. She said that she was only doing it for us. And she basically broke that, like, that niceness that she had. She was like, "Oh, well, I was only doing that because they're so boring and blah, 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 blah." It's like the one chance that you had to show a sliver of your true self and redeem yourself as a heel, or redeem yourself as a person and not be that heel, you broke it. So what do you expect from that? Like, if you're going to be a heel, be a heel. If you're going to be a person, be a person. But don't be a person and then with your heel personality just shit on that. Because you showed somebody who you can really be, and then you just threw that out the window. So what am I supposed to believe? Yeah. In my opinion. And I'm closer to Becky. I did a whole freaking thing for Locale Core where I was saying, like, this is why Becky acts the way that she acts. This is why Becky says the things that she says. And I even told people I hated Becky before that. Absolutely hated her. And then the moment that I had to look through hours and hours of footage to get to who Becky is and defend her in locale court, I saw Becky as a person. And I wanted to show that to people, and then locale court died. So I can get why a lot of people don't see Becky as Becky. Yeah. True Becky.
So Justina said, "Becky, come back and be just Becky." And then she responded, Justina, that's not how it works around here. I don't get to just be me. I get to be the version of me Keem wants me to be, and that he can destroy me whenever he wants. Oh, man. All right. So let's go ahead and get into Rewind real quick, because we got about 10 minutes left. By the way, guys, make sure you go to Nerds and check them out. Apparently, let's see what Nerds got going on today. That's right. Zay is duct taped, and Pharaoh, Eric, and Glammy have to do the show without Zay speaking. Also, apparently, I remember Pharaoh's supposed to shave his mustache or shave his beard to just have like a weird mustache. I don't know. So,
Ew.
Be looking for that on Locale Nerds here in about 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and get through these clips real quick. I haven't seen this yet.
Typical,
Neither.
the fucking predictable, the fucking non-stoppable fucking Becky Boop fucking sending me stupid fucking messages like I'm your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend, Becky. You fucking message me like I am your boyfriend. It's insane, dude. Get help. Seek help. You're literally telling me I can't do this anymore. I can't. It's so stressful. You put me in this horrible position. Okay, fine. Then why the fuck are you in the chat? Right? We're doing a members only over on Queens, setting up Mike, teaching him how to do the OBS because you quit. And in the middle of that shit, you're in the chat. Why would you be in the chat? That doesn't make sense. We're on Rewind. I'm sitting here on Sunday night trying to watch some Billy Typical.
Let's go ahead and get into part 2.
The fridge and Xylee. And I look to the chat. I see your ass. You are fucking, I'll tell you what, motherfucker, this is what you're doing. You're crossing my boundary. I got boundaries too, bitch. I got boundaries too. You put me through hell, and I don't want to see you anywhere near this Locale Live. I don't want to see you in the chat. I don't want to see you in the Discord. I don't want to see you anywhere. Motherfucker, disappear now.
So there was some boom in his voice.
Okay.
You can tell he was mad.
Yeah. I don't think this is fake, guys. I don't see Keem doing that. Just I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Straight up.
I think Keemstar can handle a lot, but the things that he was accused of and being roped into for no reason, I'm not going to say no reason, there is a reason, but just in general, that whole thing, that was crossing a boundary for him and it made him explode. Trying to add a little bit of more lightheartedness. If anybody can make me a Chowder, you know that Chowder song where he goes, "I'm not your boyfriend." If somebody can take that and just put Keemstar's face over Chowder, that would be peak comedy for me.
Yes, it
Peak
would.
Content.
Yes, it would. So, last thing I'll say about the whole thing is I hope Becky doesn't try to get in touch with others. And we'll leave it at that. Because she's done it in the past. Whenever she quit, threatened to leave, got fired, whatever. Hopefully.
So, wait. Sorry to cut you off,
No, go ahead.
but apparently mods were told to ban Becky Boop. I'm not sure if that's for like everything when it comes to like YouTube chats and everything like that.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay. Because a lot of people are texting me now saying like we should ban her, and I'm like, Ken is a mod who's pretty close to Keemstar. If there was any order to ban in like chats or stuff, like Ken would have already done it. Plus that cucks the content, so.
Yeah. So, what I saw, it was only meant for Discord. I'm not sure if it was meant for YouTube also. So I'm going to let it ride until we get clarification. Someone asked me, Ken, you met Rich. How was he in person? I loved Rich. Richie. I love that guy. He was a cool dude. He cooked. He always had hot coffee ready. Very easy to talk to. Very pleasant. Yeah. But when it comes to what happened, I don't have an opinion because I don't know. And that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
None of us were there. Nobody really truly saw like the police report.
Yeah. That's what we're not doing.
We can't really have an opinion on any of this, to be honest. In my opinion, we can't have an opinion, you know?
There it is.
So when it comes to all that, don't ask us, to be honest. We all have our opinions when it comes to SA. We all have our opinions when it comes to specific people because we interacted with them. But we don't have an opinion when it comes to something that happened in real life, right? When it comes to everything LCU, of course, Cafe is going to be the first one with an opinion because we're the first on the show list.
There it is. But you know, I'm not going to wish ill on anybody. That's not who I am as a person. I just hope that how can I say this? I hope Becky finds happiness wherever that is. I know she said she wants Keemstar to break the fourth wall and tell everyone that he told her to play a character. She wants him to come clean, I guess. In her own words, she said that about who she was supposed to be. I think she's tired of the harassment and the bullying that she gets. The bro that survived, to answer your question, that was on Locale Live. So, it was on the stream yesterday. So, I don't want to see someone like her just fall into the cracks of obscurity. Because, you know, the little bit of time I did speak to her, like behind the scenes, especially helping out with Cafe, she did have sound advice, like I said. Like, she wasn't this horrible, demented, evil person. I'm not going to say that. Off camera, behind the scenes, all my interactions with her were good. They were positive. She had good feedback, you know, so I can't say anything negative about her, you know. And like I said before, Keem even said he thinks she plays it up for the camera. What more do you want? And I know how this YouTube shit is as far as like on camera, off camera, and all that shit. You know, on camera, we all have the same opinion of her, but it is what it is. All right, so we got 3 minutes left. Remember, guys, check out Nerds. You're gonna be redirected over there. Zay's gonna have her mouth taped. Apparently, Pharaoh's gonna be punished. He's gonna have a weird mustache. You know what I'm saying? I think, maybe, I don't know. But any closing beans, anything you want to say before we cut this thing off?
So, because this was mainly about Becky, and I hate to beat a dead horse with a stick or whatever you want to beat it with, maybe Tina's bat. But in general, if she were to come back, there's obviously going to be a punishment. I'm sick of the whole punishment thing, but I don't want to think of it as a punishment. For me, to have her back in the universe, one, she has to understand that this is going to be a character she's going to play. She is the heel of the Lolcow universe. Unless somebody else comes in and becomes the heel for her, that's the role she's going to play. You're going to have to accept that. To redeem herself in the eyes of the public in order to not be a heel anymore, I just wonder what Becky's redemption, that's how I want to think of it as, redemption would be. If she has to clean her house, if she has to clean someone else's house as well. I know that she's very limited in her abilities, but just do some sort of charity to show that she's not just a terrible person. That's something that I would like to see. I want Becky to be truly Rebecca and show people that she can be nice, because I've seen her before. I've had talks with her before. She's a nice person. No matter what anybody thinks, she is a person in general, and she should be treated as such. But she has to be able to take the first step and show that, instead of pointing fingers at everybody else, like, hey, this was your fault, this was your fault. Point the finger back at you. and say, I need to make a change. I need to show people that I can change, and I need to be the one to be number one.
Yep.
And that's all I want to see from her, in my opinion. If anybody has any other opinion, put it in the comments, put it in the chat in general. I would love to see it. And maybe she can read some and get an idea of what she should do.
All right, it's 3:30. I know we didn't hit the goal, but hey, that's okay because we got Fat Camp coming up. So hopefully, all is good there. But we appreciate y'all being here. Thank you to the 500 and some odd people coming in. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to send you guys off to Nerds so you can look at Zay with tape over her mouth, and we'll see what happens to Eric and them. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you later. We're about to end the stream, Boogie.